What is going on, everyone? Welcome to GTM Gaming and Delectables. I am your host, Gathering the Magic, and we're here to talk, here to talk about a lot of different things. Today is going to be episode number 2 of my rambling with Gathering. So what we're going to talk about here is just a bunch of just random thoughts and questions that I've put together. Topics that I thought maybe people would like me to address. So before I get into that, first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out and a big thanks to Gank for allowing me to join Gankland. I sent him a plot and I will be receiving a plot from him from Region 23 sometime tomorrow. So very excited to be part of Gankland and just wanted to say thank you and give him a shout out. So looking forward to being part of that community. Okay, so let's start with first question. How important is the new player experience and what do we need to add? I think the new player experience is key. I know we've been talking about land for months and months and months on end, and I really feel like Splinterlands is kind of a game that's extremely incomplete and I think may have been designed kind of backwards, at least from how I would have done it. I've mentioned this in the past. I think most games are built on a PVE model first, and then they add player versus player afterwards as kind of like a second part of the game. With Splinterlands, the main part of the game is an auto battler. It's you fighting and battling against another player or against a bot. What I think they need to do for the new player experience is this whole screen right here should be completely replaced. With a starting screen that shows maybe a lot of animation and graphics to just kind of lure in the new people, the new players, a lot of content around just starting from scratch, the basics of the game, starting where they explain the system. Let's just take a look at this. So if you go to how to play, if this is how a new player would first see the game, do you think this is exciting enough to get them to stay into Splinterlands? So let's take a look at this section. So right here, this thing I would have animated. So instead of just kind of this layout with, you know, two types of cards, summoners and monsters, have this actually animated with these boxes as kind of like text underneath. That's kind of like a pop-up that is just a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more exciting. You can play the tutorial here. I don't know if anyone's done this, but you know, instead of this, just try to update it a little bit more. So that's my first suggestion. But I think mainly what the game needs is difficult to explain, but I would say what the game really needs is, instead of ranked battles against another player, have battles against the computer, battles against Splinterland itself. Battles against a program where the Splinterlands team can set the difficulty. Like, let's say you start in Novice, you start with a rating of 0. You play against the Splinterlands program. They give you, you know, just a few cards and maybe one splinter to start to just get you used to it. So let's say, for example, you start, they give you a summoner and they give you 5 monsters from the life splinter, and the computer plays death. And you go through the battle. They explain the levels, all that type of thing. They probably make it so that they kind of skew it so that the player is going to win their first 2 or 3 matches, just to get their feet wet in the game and kind of understand how those basics work. The next thing that would happen is, as you slowly win and then you get your rating up to, let's say, 100, now you go to Bronze 3. Now they introduce maybe a second splinter. The computer plays, you know, a different splinter, and they just ease you into the game. They start with very basic abilities, very basic skills, just to get the player used to playing the game. You're not going to go up against a bot. You're not going to go up against Kitty and Jotun. The computer will only have cards from Modern, you know, just some of the newer cards to just kind of get people used to some of the new cards in the sets that are available currently. And I think that experience will really benefit Splinterlands and the player, simply because the player's not going to get frustrated and leave right away. But the game needs to be more engaging. It needs to draw you in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It needs to be graphically stimulating. It needs to just kind of catch you and make you think, okay, I need to win one more battle and then I can get my next rank. And maybe every time you beat the computer starting off, you get a soulbound card. So your first match, you play against the computer, you win. Now it's like, okay, you now own, a level 1 life summoner. It's like, okay, cool. Now the card is soulbound. It's bound to your account. The next time you play your second match and you win, now you get a soulbound common. And just that kind of thing. And then it'll tell you maybe if you win 2 more battles, you will unlock this card or maybe this skin. The game needs to have like kind of like prizes that are like just ahead. It's like, oh, if I can just win one more battle, I can get this card. If I can win one more battle, I can get this skin. If I can win one more battle, I can move up to the next rank. So for me, that's what the new player experience really needs. You need to add just better graphics. Let me just write some of this down. Better graphics, computer PVE, not PvP. Any other things that you think need to be added to the new player experience, please leave those in the comments below. But to me, the main part of the game I think is still missing from Splinterlands, and that's PVE mode. I think it's key. I really do. And I really hope that once LAN 1.5 is done, that a majority of their devs and their focus is on the new player experience. I think it was number 3 on Matt's list. Behind LAN 1.5 and Rebellion was the new player experience. So I'm really hoping that they really put a lot of attention and focus on PvE mode. I think once we get some sort of PvE mode, that the game's really going to take off. And this could be 2 different modes. I mean, you could have the free-to-play mode, and you could also have the paid mode. So if you are a paid member, if you join the game, you buy your spellbook right away. Maybe it's, you get to play the paid mode. And one of the things they could also add in the free-to-play mode is just something saying, hey, if you are a paid member, you would have gotten SPS. So that's another thing too, is just kind of remind the player as they play. It's like, hey, you know what? If you were a paid member, you would have got some SPS. If you were a paid member, you would have got maybe something better in your rewards chest or whatever. So that's the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for the new player experience. I think it's key. I love Nate. I love the team. I think their graphics are awesome, but I think there just needs to be more animations. So just my 2 cents there. Next question I wanted to kind of talk about is, am I worried about the last round of layoffs and just Splinterlands in general moving forward? Honestly, I was very surprised about that round of layoffs. I know there had been a lot of talk in the last couple of months about how much runway they had left, but after the layoffs last year, I thought they had the team at a pretty good size. I thought they had their finances pretty much straightened out. I know they didn't have a lot of revenue generated so far this year, but I didn't realize I guess how out of whack their finances were, and Matt finally took a look at it and said, hey, and he even kind of referenced this, said, hey, look, we're losing money every month, and it's only going to last so long before we run out of money, so we need to address this now. As tough as it is to lay off people, we need to make our team a little bit smaller. And he said the number one thing that he's going to focus on is getting some outside funding and getting some financial aid basically for Splinterlands, getting some, just some outside revenue coming into Splinterlands so that this is never ever an issue again. And I think that's key, and I think that's probably the best thing that he can do. Once you get to the point where you don't have to worry about the crypto market, whether you don't have to worry about if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 or goes to 0, you don't have to worry about just the overall economy in general. That, hey, we have this much cash set aside, we have this much cash coming in every month. We really don't have to worry about, finances. We can concentrate on making the best game possible. So am I worried about the last round of layoffs in Splinterlands in general? I'm not worried at all. Like I said, I was surprised by the layoffs, but moving forward, I would say I'm very bullish on the future. And I think the greatest days are ahead. And I think, a couple years from now, when land is out in its final form. Hopefully the new player experience is out. Really hoping that they have the player versus environment mode, just to kind of help engage new players, maybe help eliminate bots a little bit more. Once Soul Keep is out, we get people that are interested in that. 2 years from now, I'm excited to see where Splinter Forge is, because that also uses Splinterlands assets. GLS, the GLX platform, if they can get some more partnerships, Aggie's great at getting partnerships and deals done, so I think he is great for being part of that platform. If they can get some college sports involved, or the NFL or NBA or anything like that, any other sports involved in different games that appeal to a different audience, I think that's going to be fantastic. So I'm extremely bullish on the future. The next few months, I think, might still be a little bit up and down. I don't expect SPS to spike anytime soon. I think if anything, we might have just kind of a slower drift, maybe sideways or maybe a little bit lower in a lot of the asset prices. But I think, 6 months down the road, or maybe a little bit more, I think things are going to turn up. And my feeling is once things start turning up, they're going to shoot up. Usually you don't drift higher, usually you shoot higher and then you drift lower. So at some point, I think in the next 6 months, we're going to see, I don't want to say a boom, but we're going to see a pretty healthy increase in a lot of the assets and just the game moving forward. So I'm very excited about the future of Splinterlands. Next question, am I ready for Land 1.5? What else am I looking to do? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I now have a plot in Gankland, so I'm extremely excited for that. I have 8 plots. Currently I have 7, so Gank will send me 1 plot for Region 23. You can see my plots here. I'm concentrated pretty much in the Land of Prosperity. My wife and I have plots in Region 43. And we also have 1 plot in Area 51. I have a magic plot in 46, a rare mountain in 48, and then I also have a plot in Track 2 in Ravenwood. I know Bronze Dragon has a plot in Ravenwood as well. So if I do pick up any additional plots, I'm going to concentrate on the Land of Prosperity, simply to be in the same territory for the Secret of Praetoria. If I do pick up any other plots, they're probably going to be in regions 46 or 51, so I can have another plot to go along with my magical plots. If it works out somehow that I could get a magical plot in region 43, that would be perfect. I would like to get 1 of each magic type. I would like to get as many to kind of be self-sufficient when it comes to the point of when we can actually build cards and items and spells. I have death and life magic. I'd love to get, fire, water, earth, and dragon as well. But one of those things where you can want a lot of stuff, but, finances are something else. So if it works out, great. And if not, I'm just going to concentrate heavily on these 2 plots. I've talked about my gold epic strategy as far as land goes. So I've picked up some more gold epics. I'm going to use my kind of monster swapping method for my death and life plots, where I will have a gold epic in each slot, and as I get a level 2 epic, I will swap that in, replace one of the level 1s, let that cool down for 3 days. Sometime during that, upgrade that to 2, swap that in for a level 1, and so on. So that is my strategy. I won't need the full 50,000 DEC per plot. I have 160,000 DEC, and for the way I'm looking to fill out my land, that should be more than enough. So I think I'm fairly ready. As always, I still want to get more DEC, and I will, as long as the price is low. Right now the price is, I think it's 72, yep, 72 cents per 1,000, so we'll be accumulating a little bit more DEC as we go along. But for the most part, I think I'm pretty much done for land 1.5. So a little more DEC, and then maybe a plot or 2 in region either 46 or 51. So other than that, I think I'm pretty much set, and I'm excited for land 1.5. Okay, next question. How is my power of 10% strategy going? So if you don't know about that, my power 10% strategy is basically, I started A couple months ago, tracking this when I had 22,000 SPS and the price was 2 cents. And what I'm doing is every time the price goes down by 10%, I'm going to buy 10% of my bag and add that to my bag. Every time the price goes up 5%, I'm going to sell, or 10%, I'm going to sell 5% of my bag, take that as profit, set it aside, and use that for funds, to buy when it dips lower. So as you guys know, in the last month or two, since SPS was at 2 cents, it has gone nothing but down. So it is currently, what did it say, 1.4? So it's 1.48 cents. So what I did is, when it hit 1.8 cents, I bought another 10%. When it hit 1.62, I bought another 10%. So now it's currently at 1.46. So my next two targets are, if it hits 1.31 cents, I'm going to buy another 10% of my bag, which is a little over 30,000. So I'll buy a little over 3,000 more SPS. If SPS jumps up and goes to 1.61 cents, I will sell about 1,500 SPS, probably convert that to DEC and then just let it sit, and I'll just use that. So currently I've spent another $120 on SPS, and my bag has grown from 22,000 SPS to 30,381. So it's a little bit higher than this, but so I've grown my SPS bag by over 8,000. So very happy with that. That's my strategy. So that's going pretty well. Still growing the bag. And I'm over 33,000 now. Very happy with that. Okay, next thing. Am I still playing Splinter Forge and Golem Overlord? Yes, I am. I am playing Splinter Forge. I love Splinter Forge. It is just so easy. And this is all it takes, guys. So I go in, I look at what the boss's abilities are. I'm fighting the bronze boss. If he has a rule set that I think I can't, or an ability that I think is going to be detrimental to me, like Affliction, I will re-roll. I try to limit my re-rolls to no more than 3. And if by the third one it's still bad, then I just deal with it and just do a single battle. Like for this one, Fury is not a problem. So I'm go ahead and fight the boss. Click battle. Do Lily and Yasik. Click on favorites. I have my favorite lineup already set. Runemancer Kai, Scavo Hireling, and Swamp Spitter for just some repair. Actually, I might use just one of those guys. Couple of slows, a heal, and Uraeus just for a little bit of extra damage. It's a good rule set, so I'll do the ×2. Fight will load, take a few seconds. I'll do over 1,000 damage, which gets me the max Forge, which is only 8.5. I'll take it. Doesn't cost me anything than a little bit of time. Just keep doing it. Keep playing till my stamina gets under 60. Switch to my other account, rinse and repeat. This is my common hero account, so all the forge that I'm getting from here, I'm reinvesting into the game. So far on this account, all I have done is reinvested into buying items through Splex. Just to show you my cards real quick. So I've grown this account to a pretty good account against the bronze boss. As you can see, I have a lot of gold foil rares. These give me an 8% Forgium boost. Got a few gems and runes to help boost my account. Very happy with the characters that I have for the amount of money I spent. Like I said, I spent about 50 cents to get started, to get one of each common equipment, and I've already grown it to gold rares. It took about 3 months, so that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, very much enjoying Splinter Forge. Earlier today, I played the Electrum Mine. Let me switch accounts so you guys can see that, and I can show you a couple of the new items that I got today. So let's go ahead and log into my main account. So I have yet to make it through the complete mine run, but one thing that I did manage to get in my inventory, and they've added that, is I picked up 2 relic fragments and 1 evolution essence. These will be used when the next phase of Splinter Forge comes out, where you can level your hero and you can actually build fragments into relics. And relics will be a new slot on your account. So when you look at your character screen, there's going to be another slot somewhere on here where you can slot a relic that will give your hero some other ability. So I'm working on doing that now before it goes live, just to kind of get a jump start, ahead of time, so that, when the hero system goes out, it's like, hey, I've already got, X amount of relics and essences. Maybe I can start leveling my hero and going through that. So very excited to play Splinter Forge. Cool game. Graphics aren't the best. I'm not really that much of a graphics. I don't need to have fancy graphics to enjoy the game. I'd rather have, just cool gameplay. And like I said, this is pretty much just a really quick auto battler for me. It's like you get your heroes, your team set up, listed under favorites. You click battle. The one thing I wish they did have is where you could make favorites for your summoners. So instead of scrolling through all the summoners, you could just click them as favorite. But you can have your monsters as favorite. You just set up your team real quick. Click the order that you want them to fight in. Do your ×2. Just wait a few seconds. Get your battle done. Get your little bit of forge. Yes, I know forge isn't worth anything. Don't care. I'm building it up. I'm building the account. Enjoying the ride. Okay, Golem Overlord. Same thing. Playing every day. Slowly building up my account. The one thing that I really like now, I'm really beginning to enjoy the short claims, and I'll tell you why. Short claims, yes, I know there's that negative 20%, but being able to claim every 4 hours is so nice, because odds are you're probably not going to get attacked. Because what a lot of people do is they set up their max amount for the amount that they can bank, and they try to get as close as that as they can before they claim, in 8 hours. The problem is if you do that, you're going to get attacked a lot. If you can set your max like way above what you're going to claim when it's short, at least I've noticed, you rarely get attacked. So if I can bank up to 209 before I have to claim, and I only get to like 50 or 60 or 80, or even 100, I can claim that, and I'm never going to get attacked. Plus, you get your energy, so you can attack people and add to that as well. So in 4 hours, even if I can only get this up to like, 80 or so, if I can grab another 30, 25 to 30 from attacking other players and just really quick do a claim, it really offsets that penalty that you're paying right here, that minus 20%. So the one thing I'm trying to build up right now is I'm trying to build up my Golem charging station, because that's going to help your bonus right here. If we can get more active in the guild, shout out to Bronze Dragon, thank you for allowing me to be a member of your guild. But if we can start leveling that guild, get that guild bonus up to 2-3%, and then once I start increasing my rank, once I hit 15,000, I'll get another %. 1% here, 1% there really adds up, and now that penalty that you're getting for claiming every 4 hours is not that bad. So, like I said, I'm a big fan of this. Typically, what I do during the week is when I wake up, I will set it to 4 hours, claim 4 hours later, right before I go to work. Set it to 8 hours, so it's on 8 hours while I'm at work, and then collect it and set it for 8 hours when I'm home. If I'm off on the weekend, what I'll do is just leave it on short and just collect every 4 hours. So that's my strategy for that. Like I said, the key things I'm going to work on now is getting my scavenger golems maxed as much as I can, not really worrying about my bank and that 200. I want to consistently get to the point where for a short claim, I can maybe get, 100, 120 somehow in 4 hours, and then attack a few times, maybe 7 or 8 times, get that fairly close, and right away do a claim, and kind of offset that penalty. So really enjoy the short claims. So that is Golem Overlord. Am I still playing? Big, definite yes, and enjoying both. I would say right now I'm enjoying Golem Overlord a little bit more, simply because it is so passive. It literally only takes me a couple of clicks. I'll click here, do a few battles, click claim, change the setting if I need to, put the points into whatever skills I want here, and I'm good to go. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this in another video, is I was looking at the ratio between the part token, which right now is 0.0016, and forge. And one thing I noticed is, okay, so it's 0.00008, is if you have about 150 part, that is enough to get you about, I think about 3,000 forge, which is enough for a crate. So if you are playing Golem Overlord and playing Splinter Forge and you're looking to build your Splinter Forge account, if you can get about 150 part, I think you're going to be able to turn that basically into a crate. So Golem, Splinter Forge really needs some love. They're really working hard. Those guys, shout out to them. They're really working on this game. Like I said, they added the Electrum Mine Run. They're going to add a hero leveling system. They just need more love. They need more players. They need more people to buy crates and bags from them. So I'm going to try to do what I can to start really concentrating on taking the forge that I'm earning and just putting it back into the game. Right now, this game's been out since the beginning of the year. They've only sold 117,000 crates out of 1 million. The airdrop's not going to happen until they hit 200,000. So if you are a Splinter Forge player out there, please support these guys. Please, use your forge and buy some crates and help them out. Would be very much appreciated. So they're doing an awesome job, and I think this game is really going to advance very well in the future, and I expect them to get a lot more player growth once they add that hero leveling system. So I just wanted to say that. So enjoying both games, but yeah, I think Golem Overlord a little bit more. So I think that's it, guys. So I've rambled on long enough. If there's any other topics or any other things that you would like me to talk about, please leave them in the comments below. Anything Golem Overlord, Splinter Forge, Splinterlands, any questions you have, just leave them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can with another video. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of your support. And no matter what happens, delays in the game, stay the course. All the team shrank. Stay the course. All my cards are going down in value. Stay the course. All my assets have gone down in price. Stay the course. All Splinterlands, it just isn't fun anymore. Stay the course. Splinter Forge, the graphics aren't that great. Stay the course. Just keep on forging. Enjoy the ride. Better days are ahead. And just have fun with it. Don't get too caught up on what the prices are now. Have fun, enjoy the ride, keep playing, keep grinding. You guys have no idea how good things are going to be a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. We're going to look back on these times and go, God, remember when Splinterlands was just, when we were worried about it and now we're booming. So, things are going to just get better and better. I have extreme confidence in the team and just the vision of Matt Nagy going forward. So, I wish I could carry you guys 2-3 years in the future to where I think the game's going to be so you can see it and it would put all your fears away. So just wanted to say thank you. Hope you enjoyed this rambling video. And as always, keep on forging. Take care, guys. See you soon.